Hello and welcome everybody to the Finding Your Voice platform, where we're aiming to connect everybody in a time of self-isolation, social distancing and global lockdown. Today I have with me the most incredible musician that I've recently come to know. She's a South Auckland hip-hop MC. Her name is Queen Shirl'e. She does prefer to be called QX. She's an experienced artist and tutor, and she has a diploma in education. She's also a professional performing artist, songwriter as well, with 20 years experience. And you wouldn't think that looking at her because you look so young. It's amazing. And Queen Shirl'e has actually released 3 music MPs, 7 music videos, and is still carrying on, still doing so many amazing things all the way through the time of COVID. A little bit more about where she's been featured. You've made it onto the Auckland Council magazine. You've made it onto stuff.co.nz. You've made it onto Coconut TV. You've made it onto Tangata Pacifica channel. And the thing that I was most woo, this is so amazing, made it onto the official New Zealand music charts for your songs. And I'm just so blown away and just so honored to be able to have this opportunity to meet with you. Thank you so much, Shirl'e, for coming to join with us today.
Oh, awesome. So good to be here. Thank you so much for this. It really means a lot.
Yeah, thank you. And I just want to say again that I absolutely love what you've got as your background. That is so amazing. Yeah, look at that. Okay, so absolutely.
Yeah.
What was that I didn't hear?
Oh, sorry. That was my recent song that I released. It's just a cover.
So tell us a little bit about that song.
So I recently released this song and music video, which is now on YouTube. It was a personal song, just like a story about growing up in South Auckland, the struggles that I went through as a typical teenager, you know, with the struggles, and how I got out of it. And yeah, turning to God helped me find my strength to get over those and overcome some of those struggles that I went through. So yeah, it was a really cool video. Got some of my kids in there, the local community, the kids in the community. I'm all about that.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you guys check it out, it's on YouTube now. Big shout outs to Jacob Van Pelt, who shot and edited that video.
Yeah, fantastic. And your YouTube channel is Queen Shirl'e. So
yeah.
Queen as in Queen and King, and then Shirle.
Yeah.
Yeah, perfect. So that would be
a
okay. Oh, right, apostrophe E, my mistake. So that's really cool. Now you're all over every single platform, right? You're under Queen Shirl'e with the apostrophe E, on Facebook and on Instagram. You're on Spotify. You're on iTunes. I mean, you name it, you are probably able to be found on there, which is absolutely amazing. I love that. I was just trying to see that if anybody was interested in actually downloading any of your music, once we've spoken a little bit more, they can also find you on SoundCloud as well.
Yeah.
And something else that you do in your time, but before we had lockdown, was that you would actually go to South Auckland libraries and go up to Glen Innes, and you would do performing arts. Was this an after-school program, or how was that?
So I started I think it was 2017, just helping some of the local kids in my community. Started off with youth that were like some troubled youth who were interested in rap, writing songs. So I started this after school program called Pathways to Performing Arts, just to engage with the kids and just keep them active and to help them stay off the streets. And I think the council, Auckland Creative Communities funded a couple of my programs, and also the local board, just people in the community that saw the work that I was doing voluntarily and they believed in it. And so it kind of just started growing over the years. And yeah, so I've been doing that for the last 3 years now, which has been really awesome. And yeah, so I got funded for 2 more classes this year, which we were supposed to start up in March, but because of the lockdown, it kind of got postponed. So I'm really looking forward to getting back into the library and working with the kids again. So the 2 classes that I'll be running is one at the Mangere East Library, and that one will be for the primary kids. Usually all the kids in Mangere from Mangere East Primary all the way down to, I think, down to, what are those other schools? I think Papatoa West.
Mm-hmm.
Just, yeah, so we have a few students from those schools. Also, I think Jean Barron, some of the kids from that school as well. So really, I do miss all the kids. So I'm really excited to kickstart that class back up. And then another class will be starting up in Otahuhu Library. So hopefully that will be happening pretty soon. Hopefully, fingers crossed.
Oh, absolutely. Yes. And we wish you all the best with that. And if anybody wants to find out more about that program, they could find that on Facebook under Pathways Stop. Pathways Stop. No, Pathways to Performing Arts. I could not get my head around that address. How embarrassing for me. Pathways to Performing Arts. I got it. So there you go. No one is going to be able to forget that Facebook page after that. So and what an amazing thing for you to be able to give back to the community as well. You know, there's typically, I don't want to generalize, but there's a lot of kids in South Auckland who could really benefit with that form of leadership and with that form of mentorship and with really tapping into that form of creativity and expression. You know, it's an amazing thing that you're doing, and I really do hope that you're able to take this off as soon as you can. That's one way that lockdown has affected you as a performing artist and as a musician and as somebody who's trying to get together another new song called Crazy Love. How are you finding this? How are you coping with lockdown and still being able to express yourself and still being able to do what it is that you're passionate about and what it is that you love? How are you doing it?
I think most of us musicians or artists, we spend a lot of time writing and working on our projects from home anyway. So I find it quite comfortable. It hasn't been easy, I think, with my kids at home. Obviously with family around, you want to spend more time with your family. And so it hasn't been as easy for me to kind of like slip away and write and work on my projects. Yeah, but I do encourage any other musicians out there or artists to just find that time, because that's where we thrive the most, is when we're in our creative, space. But yeah, I've been working on just a couple of movie scripts. You probably know that I was at film school for the last couple of years, and and I've also made it on Script to Screen, which is a mentorship program.
That's fantastic.
By Briar Grace Smith, who wrote Waru, one of the directors for Waru. So she's been amazing. She's been so supportive, and I just finished a meeting with her, with Briar, and just inspiring me to work on my script. So I am busy. I've been staying busy, just staying creative and making sure that I don't lose myself in this lockdown.
Yeah, and I think that sometimes, when we think about creativity, where does creativity come from? It comes from a place within, but it also comes from your interpretation and your experience of what it is that's happening around you and what it is that's happening to you. And so sometimes when we're faced with life challenges or health issues or world events or, something like COVID, it can really serve to either stifle our creativity, or we can choose how to harness that and to go, how is this really going to benefit me? And can I use any of what I'm feeling right now, which might be anger or might be sadness, and how can I bring that into the work that I'm doing, or into my new song that I'm going to write, or anything like that? Have you found that it's actually been of benefit to you to have some added experience in your life?
Yeah, in some with the struggle that we go through, and I think for me that's where us artists learn the most. We that's where we tend to kind of like pull all our creative ideas from our own struggles and our experiences. And I think it's a really good time to get into our creative space and start working on our craft and our passion, because that's what helps us. It's not just because we're artists, it's because it's an expression, it's a way for us to express and to heal and to feel empowered. And I think for me, I'm really thankful that I have this this creative side that I'm able to go to when I'm not, when I'm feeling down or not in a really good place in life. And yeah, it's a really good thing to have, to be able to have that to turn to. You know, some people turn to, you know, gambling because it makes them happy. Some people turn to gardening, you know, which is really cool. I like to do a bit of gardening as well outside on a nice day.
Yeah.
But I think music is definitely the key thing. You know, I could write all day, all night, and I could get lost in it. Something I absolutely love to do, and I think it's really important that we embrace that, and we you know, use this time to write as much as we can, because after this lockdown, you know, one of my girlfriends, Lavina, that I also interviewed on for 275 times, she also said that after this lockdown, there's going to be a lot of people dropping music. There's going to be some great songs coming out from this whole experience. So I think it's really awesome, and it's an exciting opportunity for a lot of us artists to take advantage of.
And I think it's an indication of your personality, right? You're either going to be somebody who goes, oh my gosh, something really bad has happened, I'm just going to shut down and I'm going to just stop. You know, this is a sign. It's a sign for me that this is all just too hard and I'm just not going to do it. Or you're going to have another type of personality, perhaps, who's going to be like, wow, I have just been gifted so much time. I've got so much exploding in my head right now that I just want to be able to get out. I don't have enough time now to get out everything that's inside, and I can see what the future is going to look like, and this can take off, and oh, I can hear the song already that's coming out, or oh, I can add that to my script, you know, or I really just want to dance this, you know. There's two different sides, right? And it's feed the good wolf or feed the bad wolf. You know, at the moment, what it sounds like is that you're just really feeding that good wolf, because you've seen it, it's within your grasp, you're kind of patting it already, you know, and you're kind of going, this is the one, you know, this is going to set me up for life. You know, this amazing experience that I've got is really going to give me this opportunity that I've been looking for. This is the answer to my prayers, you know, like, this is amazing.
It is. You know, I actually thought I actually panicked the first time. I thought, oh my gosh, I can't go see my friends. I can't link up and shoot my music videos. And, you know, and also like being on your program, you know, the health coaching program has been so awesome. Like, that actually helped me stay sane, because we were all panicking, you know, we didn't know what to do, but, you know, you helping us with also our, you know, our health and things like that really plays a big part. So big ups to you as well for doing what you do and inspiring us. And you know, we all need someone to look up to, and I think we're really lucky to have you as well coming to us. So yeah, it goes both ways.
Well, thank you so much. That's, you know, it's always so wonderful when you can see, and just like you with your music, you know, when you can actually see that your music has struck home or struck a chord with somebody, and they're healing part through that process. You know, it's all part of a healing process, isn't it?
Yeah, this is what I've learned from even being on your program. It is all healing, and I love how, you know, you're just so grounded. You're so down to earth, and, you know, because like a lot of us aspire to be at that place, you know, where they're just in a really healthy state. And some of us, you know, we've been through so much that it hasn't been easy, you know, to deal with our own personal struggles. So, you know, coming on your meetings once a week, and that is really awesome. So yeah, keep doing what you do.
Oh, thank you. And I mean, I have a motto that when everything seems too overwhelming, you stop and you reassess. And that's potentially something that, you know, people within your industry may be feeling, and anybody else who's watching this video is probably like, you know what, I do have a bit of a head spin going, and everything does feel overwhelming, and I've got so much fear of the future. Okay, well, what if I just stopped? What if I just pulled out the plug just for a little bit, and I just actually stopped? And I didn't think about anything, and I didn't worry about anything, and I didn't plan for anything, and I didn't think about the past. I just concentrated on what's actually happening right now in this particular moment for me. And then when I feel grounded, and then when I feel stronger, and when I feel okay, I'm just going to stand up. I'm just going to brush myself off, straighten out my, you know, my clothes and my back, and I'm just going to take one step in the direction that I want to go. You know, and then when you feel confident in that one step, then you take another step till eventually you're walking faster because now you've got everything on track and you're just seeing everything one day at a time, or 1 week at a time, and you're not worrying too much about what's going on in the future. Because there's a lot that's uncertain about the future. There's a lot of change that's happening to all of us, and it's a chance of, well, are you going to sink, or you're going to just bob, or you're going to swim? You know, it's like which one are you, and who is it that you are being in this given moment? You know, and if you're going, you know what, I'm somebody who's sinking, well, that's okay. Stop struggling. If I'm someone who's bobbing, okay, well, just bob for a little bit, and work out which island you want to swim, because it's all looking a little bit different now. You know, we're not swimming necessarily back to the homeland. It kind of looks a little bit different. You know, or are you somebody who's already swimming? Are you swimming in the right direction? Maybe just bob for a little bit and make sure that, you know, wherever you were going to pre-COVID, now while you're in COVID, I had, like, you know, you've got your caterpillar, and then you've got your chrysalis, and you've got your butterfly, and while we're now in this and we're just bobbing in the water using that same analogy, or swimming, it's a case, okay, well, do we just bob around, and do we just take stock, and do we just take a look at our surroundings and work out who am I now, because I've changed, you know, and where am I going to go to, and then starting to put some aims in place and some goals in place and some steps in place. Then you get clarity around which island you're swimming to. And then you start to take one stroke after the other to get towards that island. And a current may come, and the current may pull you off towards a different island, and then you go, okay, well, I'm just going to bob, and I'm just going to see what I'm doing now, because everything's changed again. But if there's anything that you can be certain of in life, is that you're going to have change in your life. And there's going to be things that are going to set you off course. But are they actually setting you off course? Or are they actually setting you onto your right course?
Right.
So when you're in that struggle, you kind of go, I'm just going to bob. It's going to bob just a little bit here, you know, and just see. Queen Shirl'e, I'd love to just find out a little bit more about your new song that you're putting out, Crazy Love. There's a lot of craziness that's happening in the world right now, and you've kind of mixed up something that's quite like, yeah, crazy and love together. It's like, oh, that sounds really exciting. Are we allowed to know a little bit about the background behind your song?
Yeah. I was actually meant to shoot the video around this time, but obviously I can't. So I've reached out to my editor, and actually one of my classmates, Jacob, is an amazing director, filmmaker, and we're going to be working on a lyric video for it. So, but the song is actually based on like a long distance relationship sort of thing, because like I spoke to a few of my friends who are sort of in that situation, and even if you know, even couples who work long hours and are always away from each other, they can relate to the song as well. So it's about being able to hold on to that love and be able to maintain that relationship, even like this, through virtual contact, because you know it's not easy. I mean, I think about people in the army and things like that. I don't know how they manage to still keep that love strong and you know, able to cope through all that. So I guess it can relate to what we're going through at the moment as well. You know, being on this lockdown, not being able to be with our families, but still be able to find a way to communicate and still express our love for each other. So the song is about, you know, putting up with all the craziness in between, you know, the long distance, not being able to communicate, but having that, you know, the test of love during those hard times. That song's about. So, and it features this really amazing singer from Wellington. His name is TK Paretza, and he also featured in a song that I wrote many years ago. Really cool, amazing artist. Check him out. And yeah, he's Zimbabwe as well. So he was actually part of a group called Titanium. I'm not sure if anyone has heard of this group, but yeah, they're incredible. And yeah, I'm really excited about this song because I've actually meant to release the song about a month ago. So I've been just holding it off. And now I feel like it's time to just let it out during this time because, you know, we all need something, you know, we all need something to kind of like help us cope with this lockdown. So I think music is a universal healer. And I think it's really important that we just, that I put this out there and hopefully it will help somebody else out there.
Yeah. I love that, you know, and it's always, whenever something happens, I have a philosophy that it's the right time for it to happen. You know, that potentially if you had released your song, it wouldn't have had a relevance to people perhaps. But now they're all like, oh my gosh, yes, like, you know, we're in our own little bubbles and my partner's in their own little bubble quite far away. And how does this, you know, and then there was this song and it was called Crazy Love and it got me through, you know, like that.
Well, that's the idea. I'm hoping that that's what it can do for our people out there, you know, because, you know, at the end of the day, you know, for us musicians, it's not always about making money like a normal job. You know, for us, we're very, you know, emotional people. And so, you know, music helps us, heals us, like you said. And if it can do that, then I've done my bit. You know, everything else after that is just icing on the cake.
Yeah.
So yeah, fingers crossed. So when I do release it, it'll be on my Facebook page, my Queen Shirl'e music page. I'll drop it there, and on my Instagram page. Also on the video will be on YouTube. So it'll be easy for anybody to find the link, and I will definitely share it with Laura. She'll be the first to get the link.
Oh, amazing.
Exclusive. VIP.
Yeah, and I'll be like, everybody, you got to listen to this. Like, this is so relevant right now. And I do encourage everybody just to go to all your platforms and just engage as much as possible. We need to get your work out there. We need to get your voice out there. We need to get everything of you out there. You are such a wonderful person, and I love the work that it is that you do, and the fact that you're so community focused as well, in a place that's relatively close to home for me. So you know, everybody together we are strong. So let's help each other out here. Just before we go, do you have any message that you would like to pass, whether it's to people, to your industry, or whether it's just to anybody watching, about any advice or any tips that you may have right now in closing for getting through what is a particularly challenging time for some?
Cool. So I found all these sites that a lot of musicians can go on to help them, you know, just cope with financially, even mentally as well, just getting that extra support. There's pages like APRA, Pacific Music Awards, that they've all got sites where there's a COVID-19, you know, advice in there for our musos, our fellow musos. Because, you know, us musos, we work differently from a normal 9-to-5 person. You know, we rely on our gigs and things like that. So we can't really be out there gigging and providing for our families. So, but it's really awesome that they've got Music Helps, which is another site that you can go on to get that extra assistance that you need if you're financially, you know, having trouble to feed your family and things like that. There's also Recorded Music New Zealand. There's Music Managers Forum. They just recently had a Zoom meeting with all the industry heads, you know, getting their support as well is really awesome. Yeah, so I found just going onto those sites have helped me just kind of like calm me down a bit and just encourage me to just keep working on my craft and just reach out to people, because, you know, our music industry isn't that big. So, you know, there's always someone on there that's willing to help you. Yeah, so, and also just stay in your bubble. You know, we usually like to go out and about. We're usually out there, actively out there gigging and, you know, performing and being around people. That's just who we are. We're people kind of people.
Yeah.
And so really hard to do that this time, but just you know, work on your songs, keep working, go back to the drawing board and just pull out anything that you're going through and just write it down, even if it isn't a song, even if it's just a couple of pages, a paragraph, just write something down if you know, if it's going to help you, you know, get through this pandemic. So yeah, that's my word of advice, and just reach out to someone if you're in trouble or you're feeling lonely, because it is a lonely time for some of us, you know, but reach out to your friends. You know, there's Facebook, there's Instagram, there's, you know, there's all sorts. If you've got a landline phone like me, pick up the phone and ring your family and just let them know, you know, how you're feeling, and because there's always someone out there that's willing to help you. Don't give up and don't feel like it's the end of the world. This is going to end soon. So just hang in there. I think we've got 1 more week to go. Hopefully, fingers crossed,
Yeah.
this will end and soon. And yeah, everything's going to just go back to normal. And just hopefully, you know, we use this time to really, you know, make something out of it. So there's going to be a lot of hits coming out after this lockdown. So I'm really excited about that as well. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to joining your classes again next week, and be inspired, you know, to look after our health as well, because it's really important that we keep that balance. You know, get outside, go do the lawns if you have to, if you know, just get out and stretch yourself, and yeah, just look after yourself.
Because that's where creativity happens.
Exactly. Yeah. And yeah, just finding your happy place. Like for me, it's been really hard because I have an autistic son who's home with me. So, you know, my time is always occupied because of him. So I try and find balance to work on me as well. You know, it's really hard, but you know, you gotta make that time. And, you know, even joining programs like your program, Laura, is really awesome, because, you know, it's not a musical thing, but it helps me with my health, and it's helping me, you know, just in general. And it's really important that we stay connected. You know, find something that makes you happy and stick to it, because that's what's going to help you.
I love that, Queen Shirl'e. Thank you so much for your time. I understand that you're very, very busy. Thank you so much for your open sharing and your, you know, just putting forward your authentic self. You know, I really do hope that there are so many people who are like, wow, who is this lady? And then go and find out more about you. And I will do whatever it is that I can to try and get your voice out there, because it's a voice that's really beautiful. And I am so looking forward to this crazy love song. I'm so excited to get it. I'm like clapping my hands, you know, it's just like, it's so cool.
Are you even into rap music? It's, you know, I'm an MC. I wish I could sing. I mean, I used to when I was younger, but you know, over the years, yeah. And so, you know, I'm not sure. I try and keep it soulful. Like I'm kind of like, I see myself as that soul hip hop artist sort of thing. So I'm hoping that it might gel in with you. So
yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah. Into our hip hop world.
Yeah, exactly. You know, you got to step into something, you know, like hip hop at some point in your life, right?
Absolutely.
Hey, well, a big hug and lots of love, and you keep moving ahead. You know, you're doing so well. You have my support, and I'm sure the support from everybody who's watching. Thank you so much once again. We're going to finish up here. This is Laura Faree from Finding Your Voice. Please go and find Queen Shirl'e on every single platform that you can find. If you're interested in my health coaching, you can find me on Facebook, Laura Faree Health Coach. But other than that, I hope you've enjoyed this video, and go and look forward to that crazy love song coming up. Bye for now. Thank you so much, Queen Shirl'e. Bye.
Thank you, Laura.
Bye.